Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to cover lesson 1.7 and 1.8 as you see here. Let's get started with lesson 1.7, inequalities. Inequality, like as you remember, we're going to have expressions like greater than, equal to, less than, and less than equal to. And I'm going to show you how to solve inequalities. So it's not that big difference, so we're going to do similar things. So let's say I got this one, 2x minus 5 bigger than, let's say, 7. Right? So like I'm gonna solve it as if I'm solving equation. My whole goal is get x alone there. So to do so, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do like plus 5, these two cancel, 2x bigger than 12, and lastly I should divide by 2, right? So x bigger than 6. That's my answer, and that's how I solve it. Okay. So today we're gonna do this more in advanced way, in advanced questions. Okay. But the main concept is same. Like do the same thing as if we are solving equation. There is one exception. I wanna show you that first. But this is so crucial, everyone. Make sure you memorize it, you learn this. If you divide or multiply by negative number, you should reverse your inequality. If you have a bigger than, so it should be less than. If you have bigger than equal to, it should be less than equal to, and so on. Let me show you what I mean on example. So solve the inequality. I'm going to do the same thing, try to get x alone here. So that's why I should do what? Minus 5 first. These two will cancel each other. Negative 3x bigger than negative 12. And lastly, I should divide by what? Negative 3. So as you hear, like I divide by negative number. Like I divide by a negative number. So these two will cancel each other. It's going to be x. So reverse this. Bigger than should be less than, and this side should be what? Negative 12 divided by negative 3 should be 4. So that's my answer. And we solve it, and my answer is x should be less than 4. And those are your turns. Please pause the video and solve those questions. So also, like on my MATLAB, when you work on your examples, like you are not able to write like this, you should put on specific form, like as you've seen over here. So you're gonna put them like this. So this table may help you out how to write interval notation like this. And also I want to show you a few examples. So let's say x bigger than 3. So like first of all, like if you have bigger than, less than, like you go with parentheses, all right? But if you have like this one, bigger than equal to, less than equal to, we go with brackets, okay? But this one like brackets, but in those cases we go with parentheses, all right? So x bigger than 3. So like x represents bigger numbers bigger than 3. So you start with 3 and you go to infinite numbers because you mean 4, 5, 6, and so on, right? So that's how you represent it. So here x less than 10. So that you mean 9, 8, 7, blah blah blah, 0, negative 1, and so on. Like you represent numbers less than. So you should go to left, right? Oops, let's write. Oh, this is fine. But it's gonna go to negative infinity up to 10. All right, folks. X bigger than equal to 5. So it could be 5, right? Bigger than equal to 5 and bigger than 5. So you should go to right side all over to infinity. Like this. And lastly, x less than 1. So like should be 1, could be 1, right? But it's gonna go to negative infinity. So that's how you put them on onto my MATLAB. So let's go to part 2, everyone. How do we solve this inequality? So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put x on one side, numbers on the other side, and then I will try to get x alone here. So let me do this. Let me add 3x to both sides first. I'm gonna make this side x side, I'm gonna make this side number side. So thanks to this, these two will cancel each other. I got 4 there, less than equal to 7 plus 2x plus 3x should be 5x. So lastly, I'm gonna do minus 7 minus 7. These two will cancel each other, right? 5x bigger than here. 4 minus 7 should be negative 3. So lastly, I gotta get the x alone, so I should divide by 5. So these two will cancel each other, so my answer should be negative 3 over 5. So we can just leave it like this, which is super fine. And that's my answer. Alright. So stop the video, solve those questions please. And on this part, what about if x is between some numbers? Again, my whole goal is get x alone there. So first step should be get rid of 5. So I'm gonna subtract 5 from all sides, right? But in the middle we have left what? 3x, right? On this side 20 minus 5, so it should be 15. On this side negative 2 minus 5 should be negative 7. And lastly, to get x alone, I should divide every single term by 3. These two cancel. X should be between what? 5. And this side we can just leave it like this. So like you can leave it like this, or as an interval notation, you can write like this. So it's between negative 7 over 3 to 5. So x is any number between 5 and negative 7 over 3. Again, those are your 10 examples. Please solve them. Here we are. What about if we see quadratic equation? How do we solve this inequality? Okay, this one has a couple of steps. Make sure you follow carefully. So step 1, I'm gonna assume it's equal to 0. All right, x squared minus x minus 12 equals to 0. I'm gonna solve like this. So we can use formula here to get the answers, or we can factor. So I choose to factor this, and let's see what we got. X and x. I'm gonna use 4 and 3. It should be negative 4 and positive 3, which means x minus 4, x plus 3 equals to 0. X minus 4 equals 0, and this part x plus 3 equals 0. So minus 3, these two cancel. X equals negative 3, and then here plus 4, these two cancel. X equals 4. Okay. So right now, if we had it equal to 0, my answer would be 4 and negative 3. I'm gonna do this. Okay. So I'm gonna have a number line over here. All right, folks. So 0 should be somewhere here. What was my solutions? Negative 3 and 4. Let me place them. Negative 3 should be somewhere here, and 4 should be somewhere here. Okay. Step 1, solve as if equal to 0. Get your answers, and then put them on number line. And now I'm going to do this, folks. Since we have an inequality, I'm gonna check this out, like which side, which interval is working super fine with my question. I'm gonna try this side first, okay, the numbers bigger than 4, and I'm gonna try this part as well, the numbers between negative 3 and 4, and then at the end I'm gonna try this side. I'm trying to discover like which side, like which interval is working out for me. Okay, to check this out, I'm gonna do this. Let's say I want to check this red area. I want to check the numbers bigger than 4. Let's pick a number here and plug in here. If we've seen that it's working, I'm gonna say that yes, this interval should be my solution. Let's say x equals 5 because 5 is bigger than 4. Let me plug in here. Let's see what do we get. put that here, put that 5 here. So it should look like this, right? Like 5 squared minus 5 minus 12, is it less than 0? 5 squared is 25 minus 5 minus 12. This part should be 20 minus 12, 8 less than 0. Is this right or wrong? So as you see, that's wrong. 8 is not less than 0. So this side cannot be my solution. So this red side didn't work out. Let's check this yellow area. Let's say x equals 0. And plug in here, let's see if it works or not. So it should be what? 0 squared minus 0 minus 12. Is it less than 0? This is like 0, 0. So we negative 12, is it less than 0? Yes, right? It's right. So like this yellow area has to work then. Alright, so this is could be solution. Okay, it's a check mark. Let me put here check mark. Also, let's check this last area, which is a blue area. Let's pick a number here and let's check this out. Let's say x equals negative 4, which is somewhere here. Let's plug in it works or not. So it should be what? Negative 4 squared minus negative 4 minus 12. Look, is it less than 0? Negative 4 squared is 16. Here, negative make positive 4 minus 12. Is it less than 0? 20 minus 12, 8 less than 0. Oh, as you're seeing, that's wrong as well, right? Wrong. This part was right. This part was wrong as well. So like the only interval that working is this yellow area. So it should be, my answer should be, let me pick this one. X should be between which numbers? Negative 3 and 4. If you want, so you can write like this if you want to. Here, that's my solution. But those sides didn't work out for me. So again, guys, pause the video. I want to solve those examples. So we are done with lesson 1.7. So it's time to move on to lesson 1.8, absolute value. So first of all, let's have a look at the definition of absolute value. Absolute value is the distance from your number to 0. So like when we have absolute value of 3, we mean that we are looking for distance from 3 to 0. Like what's the distance here? 3 to 0. It's just 3 units away, so my answer should be 3 then. Like same idea applies here. What's the distance from negative 3 to 0? Like, what's the distance here? Like, how far is it? So it's going to be like 3 units away, right? Distance cannot be negative number. Like you cannot say, oh, I go to HEB, it's negative 2 miles. Like, you cannot say that. Like distance has to be always positive. So absolute value always has to be positive value. Let's have a look at this example. Solve the equation. So like, as you see, we got something here and we got 12 over here, right? If we had the absolute value of 12 would be 12, right? But at the same time, absolute value of negative 12 would be 12 as well, right? So that's why I'm going to do it this way. Like 5 minus 3x could be 12. At the same time, 5 minus 3x could be negative 12 as well. So I'm going to solve both cases. I'm going to have two solutions. Let me, okay, have a new over here. So let's solve, right over here. 5 minus 3x equals 12. 5 minus 3x equals negative 12. So I'm going to have two solutions. So to solve this one, let's do minus 5 minus 5. These two will cancel. Negative 3x equals 7. So if I divide both sides by negative 3, my first solution should be negative 7 over 3. That's my first answer. Let's check this one. Negative 5, These two cancel. Negative 3x is negative 17. So if I divide both sides by negative 3, these two cancel. These two negative make positive, so 17 over 3, that's my answer. Okay? So we solve it and we got two solutions. And sometimes we see in something like this. Let me write clearly this one. I believe you can see that, I believe. 2x plus 5 minus 3 equals 7. So as you're seeing on this one, absolute value was alone. We just solve it. But in this case, it's not alone here. There's a minus 3, there's a 2 here. Before we solve, I could get rid of them first. Absolute value should be alone. That's why I'm going to do plus 3 first. So this 2 will cancel. 2 absolute value of x minus x plus 5 equals 10. So lastly, I should divide by 2, right? This 2 will cancel. So what do we got here? X plus 5 equals to 5. So which means x plus 5 could be 5. At the same time, x plus 5 could be negative 5. Let me write over here. X plus 5 could be 5. At the same time, it could be negative 5. Let's solve both cases. Minus 5, cancel each other. X equals 0, my first answer. And this part, minus 5, cancel each other. X equals negative 10, that's my second one. Okay, if it is alone, just go ahead and solve it. Get your two equation ready and solve it. But if it is not alone, as you see here, get absolute value alone first, and then get your two equation ready and solve it. And please stop the video and solve those questions. What if we have equation on both sides? It's going to be same thing, everyone. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to set up two equations. I'm going to have two solutions. In the first case, 4x minus 3 could be x plus 6. But on the second equation, 4x minus 3 could be negative x plus 6. Alright, so let's solve both cases. On the first one, I'm going to do minus x from both sides. These two will cancel. 4x minus x, 3x minus 3 equals 6. So plus 3, these two cancel. 3x equals 9. So if we divide both sides by 3, so x should be equal to 3, folks. That's my first answer. That's my first solution. But on the second one, before we solve, I should distribute that negative first. Distribute first. So it's going to be negative x, negative 6. So right now, let's try to solve. So I'm going to do plus x, those two cancel. 5x minus 3 equals negative 6. So just regular algebra stuff. Plus 3, 5x equals negative 3. Lastly, divide both sides by 5. So x should be equal to negative 3 over 5, which is my answer. Okay, that's how we do them. Please pause the video, have a try those examples. They are which super similar. Part 2, everyone. Part 2. We got the absolute value and we got the inequality as well. So what do we do in this case? So there's a tricky way here. I want you to memorize this. If you see less than, we're gonna put them in the middle. I'm gonna do this. 2x plus 1 goes in the middle. I go this way. And here should be 7. And this part should be negative 7. Whatever number here, put here negative version of it. If you had there 10, put there negative 10. If you had there 5, put there negative 5, and so on. So we've seen this one, we have seen this how to solve. So I'm gonna try to get x alone. So minus 1 from all sides. What do we get? These two will cancel. 7 minus 1, 6. This part negative 8. And lastly, divide all sides by 2. These two will cancel each other. x between 3 and -4. That's how I solve it. It's that easy. Absolute value less than, put in the middle, and then put your positive negative number here. And that's it. We solve it. Here, you're gonna do the same thing, folks. Let's say like, get your, it's less than, right? So put in the middle. It should be between positive and negative. And just go ahead and move on. Like, okay, oh, it's S. That's your turn. Students. Okay, it represents students. Stop the video, solve it, please. What if like absolute value and bigger than? So if you see this one, I'm gonna go this way. Let me tell you what I mean. Go with positive and negative. It's gonna have two solutions. We're gonna do this. 2x plus 1 bigger than 7, and which is a positive, 2x plus 1, reverse it and get your negative number, which is -7. All right. First one is just same thing. 2x plus 1 bigger than 7. And second equation, second inequality should be same one, less than, reverse the sign and put your negative number. And let's solve those. So in this one should be what? Get x alone, -1, -1. 2x bigger than 6 and divide both sides by 2. So x bigger than 3, right? And this one. Let's solve this. -1, -1, 2x less than -8 and divide by 2. So it should be x less than -4, and that's my answer. Okay, so I solved them, but let's write them interval notation. I forgot to write in that way. Let me go back to this example. So if you see your solution between -4 and 3, it should be like this. So x is between them, right? So it should be -4 to 3. It's between -4 and 3. So in this example, x bigger than 3 and x less than -4. I'm gonna do this. X less than -4 means negative infinity up to -4, and, right, and like combine u, like u means and, x bigger than 3. Put that 3 and it goes to infinity. That's how we write in interval notation. And then that's my last questions. Those are students' turn questions. Please pause the video and try to solve those questions.